This video is going to show you how to solo farm the exotic bow hierarchy of needs, continuing this dungeon exotic solo farming series. We're near the end of it. After this video, I've just got to do Navigator for Ghost of the Deep, and this series is complete. I'm not going to cover Xenophage, Galahorn or Wishender because you need to do a particular dungeon quest for each of them to get it. I've done those dungeon quests a long time ago and I cannot replay those dungeon quests, so I'm just covering the dungeon exotics that are farmable via a final boss checkpoint. So, hierarchy of needs, drops from Spire the Watcher. You're going to need a final boss checkpoint. You can get that from Destiny2checkpoint.com. Or get the checkpoint from a friend. Farm solo or in a team, up to you. Hierarchy of needs did drop from the Right of the Nine dungeon event, so I'm assuming that you've missed that and you haven't got it. So this is aimed at players who just haven't got the bow. Hierarchy of needs got a buff in Edge of Fate, and the guidance rings are different now to what they used to be. I'll solo something with Hierarchy of Needs at some point in the future, so I'm not going to cover too much about the bow and how it works. Just, this is how to farm it. It is better than what it used to be, and it is an interesting weapon for sure. It is a weapon worthwhile getting for sure. That's what I'm trying to explain. So, we're choosing to be on Warlock for this farm. So we've got a running build and a DPS build, of course. Let's cover the running build. We're going with Dawn Chorus. These the armor mods. Arc resistant, void resistant, concussive dampener is recommended for this because of harpies. The boss and the harpies do arc damage to you as well. It is actually quite important you get your resistances correct for this. Even though it's not like -40 or something, I recommend that you do. I've got double heavy ammo firearm because I've got to farm a lot of heavy ammo for this, but it's a very good strat. Healthy finisher to sustain the armor chance. I got double solar scav on. I was just testing to see if there was any bugs. There isn't. Don't worry, scavengers don't stack, although there is some weapons in the game where scavengers do stack. More information about that at a later date. I've found something out, but I'm not telling you what that is today. It's not revolving around solar scav either. So, yeah, that's our run and build. It's based around, we're just using Dawn Chorus. We're going stock with this. We could have run other exotics. Weapons, Witherhoard and a solar primary of your choice. If you want to use Yertide, you are allowed to use Yertide. Ahab Char is also good. Any heal clip primary will serve you well. But you want a good weapon that you shoot and fuses with also to consider. And finally, Outrageous Fortune. Recommended roll for that is Envious, Arsenal and Bait and Switch with spike grenades. I've got mini frags, but I was fine without it. But spike grenades would do a little bit more damage, because it does add a bit more impact damage to the total damage. But as long as you got Envious, Arsenal, Bait and Switch, right, you're going to be doing tremendous amounts of damage. This weapon is fantastic for dungeons. Not very good for a lot of portal activities, but when we start doing some dungeon bosses and stuff, Outrageous Fortune becomes very useful just because it's getting 10% extra damage because of Edge of Fate bonus. So it's doing better than other rapid fire GLs, and it's the only rapid fire GL that's Edge of Fate based, right? In the heavy slot. Legendary. So it's a unique situation with Outrageous Fortune, and you should be rolling in Outrageous Fortune God rolls. So we're doing a Witherhoard Outrageous Fortune combo. We then switch to DPS. We're still rocking Dawn Chorus. Armor mods are going to differ, right? So this is where we've got double class font on here, double solar weapon surge with one kinetic weapon surge, double void resisting in this case because we're DPSing the boss. The boss does void with concussive dampener. Double grenade font and a double super font. We're just going all in on fonts and surges to enhance all this. The main takeaway though is run a very high weapon stat. I mean, you don't need 185. You could probably get away with 150, but yeah, creep that weapon stat up and rock some surges. That's basically the takeaway from it. Aspects and fragments, same on both builds. Song of Flame, Phoenix Dive, Celestial Fire, Heal and Nade for emergencies. Aspects are Touch of Flame, Helion. Fragments are Solace, Ashes, Torches, Singeing. No need for Empyrean, we're good enough. Oh, and we're using a Withering Gaze primary to increase damage. I could have run Fellwinters in this, but yeah, I could have done. I don't know. I just stuck with Dawn Chorus. But yeah, I could have added a 30% weakening instead of a 15% weakening. But how quickly you can run through this, it doesn't really make all that difference. You can run through this in 9 minutes solo, Spider Watcher. And if it's in a team, even 5 minutes a run. Spider Watcher is not that hard, the final boss checkpoint. Artifact mods, nothing matters for artifact mods, so I'm not even going to cover it. Everything I've showed you is relevant though. Right, what my build is what makes this run. There's nothing on the artifact that's going to increase a massive amount of damage or anything. Just discount on scabs. Just discount on scabs, lads. Like I say, soul scab doesn't stack, but there is a secret. I'll reveal it over time. Not yet. But yeah, that's everything that you need to know about this. Okay, series, that's Spider Watcher Solo Farm. I'm going to assume that you know nothing about this fight, and I'm going to take you from the top and explain the mechanics from top to bottom. 2 hydras spawn in left and right. You're going to deal with those 2 hydras first. That's your first goal. Take care of them, stick them with reward, whatever. Don't use heavy though, you don't need to, because you actually need to do a bit of ammo farming on this run with Outrageous Fortune, because it does blow through ammo quite a bit, but it does do tremendous amounts of damage to this boss. So does other weapons like Grand Overture and such, but we're going with this loadout for this run. Right, then you'll get Minotaurs that spawn in. You need to kill a Minotaur and shoot 5 fuses in middle. They are fixed. They're on the pillars and above the entrance door to the reactor room at the back of the map. You shoot the 5 fuses. You're then going to get 2 possible fuse rotations. There are 4 possible, and it's RNG which ones you get. If you are unfamiliar with fuse rotations, you need to get familiar with them. Once you get familiar with them, you're good to start the farm. So, you know, just practice a little bit on this if you know nothing about the fuses and where they're located. Some of them are trickier than others, but it is just a familiar... It's just you being familiar with it or not. Are you or not? If the answer's no, you need to check where all the fuses are and the possible circuits. So you're going to complete 2 rotations, but you're not going to complete that circuit until you've got 3 armor charges. Check that you've got 3 armor charges and all your weapons are reloaded and such. So I need 2 orbs. It's paramount that you get your orbs. If you don't, you're going to lose damage. Yeah? This is dungeon gameplay. This is how it is. You've got to get your armor charges and surge swap. Okay, and then we're going to complete the circuits. Both of them. Now make sure that the boss is in that reactor room. That room there, we call it the reactor room. Make sure the boss is in the reactor room when you shoot your last set of fuses. Have this room clear of supplicants and goblins. Don't worry about the Minotaurs too much. Sometimes they do chase you. And then when these fuses open up, you're going to shoot them again. Yeah? Then you're going to surge swap. If a Minotaur pushes, just heal and nade. Right? We're going to do a Helionx. We're going to do that for DPS anyways. And then Wither and Gaze. Yeah? Pre-shot with Wither and Gaze. Wither Horde. And then we're going to do super bait and switch. 3 rotations of bait and switch if we can. Yeah? We switch back to Wither Horde. Activate Envious Arsenal. Still got bait and switch. Keep doing our damage. Wither Horde again. A little bit of a solar melee with Dawn Chorus to increase a bit more damage. Look at the damage. Chunkin'. And we finished the last bit of damage with a bit of super damage, because this boss is actually weakened to super damage, don't forget. So, yeah, we've done our bait and switch. We've done lots of damage to him there. Just imagine this with Fellwinter. 30% debuff. Yeah. It would almost solo 2-phase. It would be tight. It would be tight, but it would almost solo 2-phase. But, like I say, you're running through this that quick anyways. It's fine. Same thing, rinse and repeat from here. 2 hydras left and right. The supplicants aren't a big of a threat. If you have not got the correct resistances on, you will actually die in this fight. If you don't use any resistance in this fight, say you use ammo generation mods, you're going to feel it, even at normal power. Even that, we're not at a deficit. You would feel it if you didn't rock Void Resist, Arc. See, Void Resist protects against the boss, and you kite him round the room. Arc Resist protects against harpies, and Concussive Dampener protects against both harpies and the boss, because that's a neutral resistance mod that protects against a whole host of different things in the game. But yeah, you got to get used to kiting that boss round the room. That's why you've got your Phoenix dives, you've got your healing nades, of course. It's just I was missing this circuit right here, right? If it should, yeah, you want a weapon that you're comfortable with on shooting fuses. Trace rifles are good in this as well. That means you're rocking double special. For this, I don't really recommend double special, but trace rifles are good in this encounter. Just thought I would mention it. So yeah, I've got one fuse left, one fuse right. So we're managing that, and I'm micromanaging the boss as well. We've started the right fuse. I'm going to start the left fuse because left fuse is a little bit more harder work than the right one. That's actually the worst fuse. So we've prepped one fuse. Remember, I'm not completing any circuits until I'm ready for ammo. Because on phase 1 we had full ammo, so it was fine. Yeah, phase 1 was. But for phase 2, we need to farm out a bit more ammo. But I've got 22 shots, which is almost enough. Well, I want one more brick. One more brick. That's the 2 circuits almost complete. But now we need to double check. Like, don't start DBS. If you haven't got armor charges and you rush it, you haven't got armor charges, you just wasted a damage phase a little bit. You're going to do a lot less damage without it. Surge is granted 22% damage bonus at 3 stacks on the boots. That's a sizable amount of damage that you're going to lose. Yeah? So you've got to bear that in mind. So make sure you got your armor charges full super as well. Special ammo doesn't matter in this fight too much because it's Witherhoard and the ammo goes forever. But like I say, obviously heavy ammo does. Right, then we activate the final circuit. Make sure that the boss is in that room. He will completely de-aggro when you shoot your final node and he'll stop shooting at you, notice. Yeah, then you come here, shoot your 5 circuits. Again, rinse and repeating. It's all execution at this point. Yeah, and then you're going to surge swap early. Yeah, and you're going to window lick this damn reactor room because you want to get close. Get close. Closer to him, the easier it is actually. Wither and gaze. Make sure that Witherhoard shot hits. Then we super. We have not reloaded. We're 5 shots. We have not reloaded Envious Arsenal. We had 5 rather than 8. That actually messed my damage rotation up slightly. But we my bait and switch. But we still do enough damage. So we actually messed up a little bit. And that was all because I didn't reload my heavy GL. Always make sure that you've reloaded your heavy GL to maximum 8 or 7 shots or whatever it's got. But look at the damage we've cooked him. Even though we slightly messed up there, we absolutely cooked him. Goes to show how powerful Outrageous Fortune really is. Reason why you're not seeing a lot of people run this GL is because in the portal, there's no need to run it on anything. I mean, you've got the dungeon layers, so you can run it in that. But like, your general strikes and nightfalls, you don't really need a heavy drum GL. There's other better options. But the power, this was close. Don't ever do that, by the way. The power of the heavy drum GLs is mainly in dungeon gameplay, where you're doing DPS and you're timed. That's where the power of it comes in. Yeah. And it's an incredible weapon because it's getting the Edge of Fate 10% bonus. It's the only heavy drum GL, legendary, that's Edge of Fate. You've got one and it's this. So it serves a unique place, does Outrageous Fortune. So now we're looking for ammo. Getting 4 or 5 shots per brick. Just be careful and mindful of that boss at all times, obviously. If ever in doubt, though, obviously use a healer nade, heal clip. We get weak off him from the other room there. He can cook even on this difficulty, I suppose. Minotaurs can chase you in this room sometimes. You can farm up ammo in this room as well. Yeah. Which you may need to. Which is sort of a pillar where you can stand. I'll show you. If I do go back there, we'll show you it. But yeah, I'm farming. You can also farm these Minotaurs for super energy. Because they're a major, you get a bit more energy, super energy off them as opposed to red bars. So you can farm the Minotaurs left and right. They keep spawning. Good for ammo as well. So yeah, you can come around this location and kite the boss around this pillar to farm up your ammo and orbs off these ads. I'm 17, not quite enough to finish this boss off, although there's a brick there. 21, we want one more brick and I'm fine, although we cook him before that. 21 was actually enough. But just in case there's any issues where we miss a Witherhoard shot or we do something, I'm just going to get 1 extra brick, which it's here. So we're fine. Make sure, like I say, always make sure you reload it. It messed the timing up on my auto-load and Witherhoard shot on phase 2. Because Witherhoard takes longer to auto-load now. They slightly nerfed it a few months ago now. Why they shouldn't have, I don't know why it was a personal hit. They tried to hit Witherhoard there and wasn't comfortable with that. That's fine though, it's still very powerful in the game, of course. It was just a slight nerf to Auto and Holster, but not that much, but it is still noticeable. Okay, final wave, five circuits, same thing. But yeah, we absolutely cook him on this, honestly. He's an incredible... If you haven't got Hierarchy of Needs and you missed Rite of the Nine, well then, make sure you do get Hierarchy, because it is a very special weapon still. Like I say, I'll solo something with it in the game. Well, I don't know what that will be, but we'll get round to doing some Hierarchy of Need build at some point. But yeah, we're just doing our bait and switch rotations. The boss is getting cooked with Withering Gaze and such. But that was a solo farm for Hierarchy of Needs. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.